Hi, thank you for joining us in reviewing Salpo CRM's deep dive into business rules. So today we're going to have a look at what business rules in Salpo are. They ultimately allow common workflows and repetitive tasks to be automated, which save you time and effort with administrative tasks or just managing the small mundane changes you'd be making in the system. Business rules are defined to trigger a CRM-related action on a specific event, and we'll be reviewing those different types of events, actions, and triggers that you can use today. And this functionality is available on the Silver plan and above. Business rules in Salpo sits within the control panel, so only administrators on your account are going to have access to this. When you click into business rules, you'll see the list of any rules that are created. Once business rules are enabled, you'll be able to create rules. As soon as business rules is disabled, though, then it deactivates any of the rules that you've built and created. So if you only want some live and some to be deactivated, you'd have to delete them. Some example business rule objectives are to trigger actions to record scheduled communications against a contact. So something like when I've added a new contact into the system, or when a new contact is added into Salpo, then automatically schedule a follow-up for weeks later. We have a contact us form on our website, and as soon as someone completes our contact us form, it would create a new contact in our CRM, and then we would use business rules to automatically schedule a scheduled communication for one of our staff members to follow up with that person. Another example would be to trigger an action to update some custom fields. And one example would be when a contact custom field satisfaction rating is marked as low, update another custom field to reflect a sensitivity level because they've just given us a low satisfaction rating. Another option would be looking at the status of the customer. As soon as someone is marked as a qualified lead, make the business rule change the assignment of who that profile page is now assigned to Natalie. And then when it becomes a customer, change the assignment to L because she's the account manager. Business rules right now are applicable only against contacts and opportunities. The functionality will be extended out to any of the other modules that are created in the system. So let's look at creating a business rule. This first one is called a workflow. Just a quick show you how this is built out to give you an idea, and then we'll look at how it's executed. So if I click on the workflow one, or even when to create one, I get to name the rule, provide a little description about it. I get to assign the primary module, so this shows as contacts or opportunities, determine the event, so this is if a specific field is updated or not, and then we get to define which fields. These are showing grayed out right now because this is already a created event in our system, and then I get to apply some conditions against that. The available triggers that we have in the system are created, updated, and deleted against an update that could be when any of the fields are updated or when a specific field is updated. So that could be just anything in the address or a specific field. And then the available actions that can happen from that are updating another field, whether it's standard or custom, creating a standard communication, or creating a scheduled communication. These functionalities will also be extending, but we're starting with this, and then we'll be extending to further the functionality to work with email templates and some other things that we have coming up in our pipeline. Once you've assigned which module it's happening, what type of event or trigger that you want to have, and then what action, you basically have a business rule. But you can also drill down into what's happening by creating a condition. I can then narrow down that to say only do this when this equals this. If I wanted to say something like trigger an action to populate the value Gloucestershire against contact custom field of region, but only when the contact is created in Salpo where their town city in the address field is Cheltenham. That way I know that if I've got some internal regions defined or different sales territories, then it's looking at the address and then assigning them to the specific region that I've built within our system that makes sense to us versus the typical zoning lines or something that I might see on a grid map. That's how you build out these functionalities. Just to show you what the add rule option looks like. So once I provided some names, this is what selecting the different module is like. what the specific event is like. So I can say if it's created, updated, deleted, or if a specific field is updated. When I choose the specific field, I then get the list of any of the custom fields associated with the entity that I've provided up here as that primary module. And then you get to define everything further based off of those conditions in the actions. Now let's see some of these in action. We've got one as when the contact custom field satisfaction rating is marked as low, schedule a communication for a team member to follow up. So if I go to one of our contacts profile pages and I come to the satisfaction rating on her page, right now it's high, but let's change this to low and give it a tick here and just save that on her profile page. Well, now let's do a refresh, and I should now have a scheduled communication coming through against that contact as a follow-up. So you'll see this now has populated against her profile page. It's against Natalie doing, the user in the system. That will now appear on my task list. I jump to our homepage because I have my to-do list on my dashboard in my homepage, and you'll see that I now have a task to do today. Another example of the business rules, we had the customer acquisition options of moving someone from a lead into an opportunity. If I now change Addison's custom field, right now her customer status is at initial interaction, so she's dealing with L, our initial sales person who's working with her. But now if I change this to a qualified lead, just hit update here, refresh the page, so you now see that dealing with automatically has changed to Natalie. I can now, as Natalie, the system user, can create a report on the system to say, show me all contacts that are assigned to me, where I'm the dealing with person. And then I can know that those are the contacts that I'm managing with. I'd save that as my filter, and then I can just use that as my drop-down list and quickly access that on my day-to-day basis if I'm running through the clients that are assigned to me. So it's a great account management type tool. So those are some quick and easy options of how you're looking at business rules. And ultimately, that's the functionality, that you have the option to automatically create, update, and delete fields against contacts and opportunities. You also then have the action available to update those fields, create standard or scheduled communications. We have our documentation set up in the support desk under the Knowledge Center. So if you want to learn more about this functionality and have some examples and read through, we've got an overview, how to edit, add, and then enabling business rules as well. So feel free to have a look through here just to be taken through step by step and understanding some of this terminology a little bit better. Thanks so much for joining, and let us know if you have any questions by reaching out to us at marketing@salpo.com, or if you're a current Salpo customer and you have some questions about how to get this set up, don't hesitate to reach out to us at support@salpo.com.